Hello, this is Colin. And back in the 17th century in England, they were undergoing something of an agricultural boom period, which resulted in a surplus of grain. Well, of course, this forced the price of grain down, which worried the authorities, of course. So they came up with the bright idea of banning the importation of French wine and other foreign alcoholic beverages and encouraging the distillation of gin. Well, this had the rather predictable consequence of flooding England with lots of cheap alcohol that the peasantry and the workers of the earliest period of the Industrial Revolution spent a lot of their time and money getting plastered. Well, this was considered a terrible thing, of course. It interfered with, their work. And so there was a long-running debate into the 18th century about the qualities and the propriety of certain beverages. Now, of course, at the time, people made a distinction between different alcoholic beverages. While gin was considered destructive to the human being, the source of madness and people murdering their children and riot and all kinds of bad things, while beer was considered something of a healthy beverage, drunk by stout-hearted yeomen as sort of a meal, sort of a liquid bread. The fact that these beverages both had alcohol in them didn't actually seem to connect to anyone. But into this raging debate over the benefits of beer or gin or wine or what have you enters tea, coffee, and chocolate. And so, of course, some people didn't like these foreign beverages and thought there must be something terribly wrong with them. But other people were doing their best to encourage them as an alternative to the drunken behavior of the common folk. I have this poem from about, I think it was 1685 or so. No name attached to it, but it is called Rebellion's Antidote, or a dialogue between coffee and tea. Tea. All hail, kind friend, sweet balsam of our age. What meanest thou by such a tragic equipage? Face. Coffee. Welcome, dear sister, basis of my life, better than goodness, dearer than a wife. Forbear inquiring, lest thou force to rise tears to deluge from my doleful eyes. Such are my plaints, and such my cruel fate, tongue can't express their too rigid state. T. A curse on all curses, else below on those who do produce thy woe. Death, hell, and vengeance upon him fall that makes thy fate so tragical. Coffee. Merit on merit, lo now I see a life thou mayest command of me. Command thy pleasure, I'll not decline. Thy goodness has obliged me thine. And since as Dido thou commandest thy grief, I'll with Athenaeus sum up all in brief. Tea, all that I beg is but the reason that makes thy visage out of season. Coffee. The rage and madness of the nation moves both my heart and compassion. Unto that height I cannot force my horror to a mean divorce, since all the world does now rely on madness, on debauchery. Lewd and distract to such a strain, as if invoking back again grim chaos of accursed confusion, the product of our grand delusion. D. Truth without error needs no oath. All thou hast said is naked truth. Thus for the art gone, but prithee tell, what occasions death and hell? Whence springs our dolor? I don't know what that is. What's the source that operates this hellish curse? Coffee. 'Tis wine and ale and the grape that spawn this spurious bestial rape. Was it but these product, that horrid fact, but wine and ale and beer will act. Hell, death, hell, and judgment hand in hand, with them and theirs do always stand. Rapes, murders, thefts, and 1,000 crimes are gendered by foul ale and wines. These are but trifles to the woe that wine and ale and beer can do. From whence, unless from these do daily spring rebellion, treason, and sham-plotting sin? These storm the fort and let the devil in. Judge you the effect where Satan rules as chief. 'Tis then too late to cry, "Stop, thief! Stop, thief!" T. In these extremes there's but one way I find, my life for yours, and that I will give under mine. The devil himself, and give you all a laughter, to expel his vengeance by a holy water. Allay the billows of the flowing rout, one dish of twist will force the devil out. Thou hast hit the pin, and twist the sovereign portion. To turn the tide, reverse the alewives' ocean. Disgorge God Bacchus, and prepare a stage, once more to entertain a golden age. T. Thanks, noble sir, for this relation. In order to retaliation, I'll force my muse to such a height, that thy deserved arrow stick right. Come, frantic fools, leave off your drunken fits. Obsequians be, and I'll recall your wits. From perfect madness to a modest strain, for farthings 4 I'll fetch you back again. Enable all your mean with tricks of state, enter and sip, and then attend your fate. Come drunk or sober for a gentle fee, come ne'er so mad, I'll your physician be. So there you have it. The only thing that stands between the nation, madness, falling apart, is tea and Sister Coffee. I suppose you could think of this as an advertisement for the coffee houses. But, I am living proof that a life spent drinking tea is one well worth living.